Hey guys, I had a request to explain something that I was writing in my article, white belt pointers. We had a few people interested in seeing some of the details regarding underhooking and cross facing when you're inside control on top, and as well when you're on bottom. So I'm going to show in detail just some of the things that I like to do, and hopefully this helps out. Okay guys, we've had to work pretty hard, but we've managed to secure side control on our opponent, okay? So, in no particular order, but they're all important. We need to, first, pointer number one, make sure that when we are over our opponent, our chin will not go past his shoulder blade. The further we go, the lighter he can rock and roll, okay? So we almost want to sit our butt back, and we're going to be nice and heavy, okay? Okay, so that's the first detail. Next detail is crossface, okay? We hear this all the time being yelled in tournaments, and it's something I see new people always forget. Okay, so a proper crossface, in my opinion, and the way I like to do it, is we're going to be reaching across. I like to grab some cloth, okay? And I don't have my shoulder up here, I get it nice and low, and I collect this chin to make him look this way, and I have pressure. This hurts, okay? If your opponent is able to look towards you and you're cross-facing, you need to adjust this. This isn't going to be tight enough, okay? I like to get low and almost like an ice cream scoop to get his face here. And I'm also grabbing cloth and pulling in, okay? Next pointer is, and very important, to keep him secure, is we need the underhook, okay? Very important, okay? Crossface, it's even more important than the crossface in my opinion, because if I'm here, okay, it's going to be hard for him to scoot away. I have him kind of nice and tight and pinched here, alright? So, if I don't have this, and even if I have a good crossface, he's going to be able to scoot out, okay? So, a good way to remember it is the opposite side of the body, you need to control that underhook, okay? Okay, and once again, you can have some cloth here, you can have it loose. When I go to move, and this is a little off topic, but because we're just talking about securing position, if you are moving and you have your crossface, your hand should at least stay on the hips. I like to keep it flat, okay? Next pointer is this knee needs to be tight against the hip. I like to keep it right on the hip bone, because when he goes to turn into me, it makes it harder. It creates space. When he gets in, he's going to be able to get half guard, okay? Even if I'm doing everything correctly, even if I have a nice, tight crossface, I have a nice underhook, okay? My chin is still at a good level in line. If I have a space here, a good guy's gonna be able to turn, scoop, and now we're having to fight again to get a position, okay? So, a few pointers. We're going to keep our chin no further than the opposite side shoulder. When we cross face, we're going to have a nice deep cross face, having his face pushed the other way. We're going to be putting pressure. It should be uncomfortable. Next, underhook on the opposite side. And we need to make sure that our knee closest to his buttocks is glued to his hip, okay? These are little pointers that are going to allow you to, I guess you'd say, secure the position to decide what you want to do, okay? There is submissions that you can do, but this is kind of a stationary position, okay? So, next thing I would like to explain is vice versa, okay? My opponent is doing everything correctly, okay? His shoulder, my shoulder and his chin are in line. He has a nice crossface. He's grabbing some cloth, pushing my face away, okay? And he's got his underhook, which is super important. And this foot, I'm not able to turn because he has his knee there, okay? This is proper position on his part. Now, what am I gonna do? Okay, first thing I like to do is on the opposite side, I like to create some space by putting my hand on his hip. kind of push away. He's still gonna stay tight, but he's gonna be crushing me. The next thing that I like to do, and there's a few different ways you can do this, is you can put your hand across his throat, and then we bump, and then this space when I come down, even though you're only gonna have a half a second, is to get your hand in here, and it might take a couple times. Okay, so now I've taken away one of his things, and once again, I think this is one of the most important, the underhook. I like to pass, so I'm tight here, okay, and I'm posting on his hip. This allows me to get some space, turn in, get my knee in, pop him up, side control. So once again, on the opposite end of the spectrum, it's pretty much doing reverse osmosis is what I explained when you're on top. He's gonna have position, okay, I'm gonna post and push his hips away a little bit, hand maybe to the throat, maybe it's just gonna go on your chest. We're gonna bump that little bit of space. It might take 3-4 times. At the same time, I'm turning my hips, grabbing the belt, pushing away, and securing. Okay guys, I hope that helps explain those 2 pointers in the article. These are very, I guess, fundamental, beginner level things that if you take the time to learn these things in the beginning, they might not be a flashy submission, they might not be, you know, something that you want to do, but they're things that you have to do in order to progress in Jiu-Jitsu. So once again, if you have any questions, send me a message and we'll get it figured out.